Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, here to talk about a fascinating fight at 140 between champion Amir and Paul McCloskey, the European champion. Now, before I go further, just remember the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider these videos to be a second opinion from a total stranger online. Amir Khan, according to sports books, is as high as a 12 to 1 favorite. I beg to differ. I actually think that this fight is very intriguing. When I watch Paul McCluskey, the style that I see him using is the same style used by Floyd Mayweather. McCluskey, in my opinion, is qualitatively a better fighter than Andre Kotelnik. He fights out of a Philly shell. Now, he is left-handed. Mayweather, of course, is orthodox. So McCluskey's lead hand is his right hand. Only thing that he's lacking that Mayweather has, besides a little bit of hand speed, is that devastating lead left hook that Mayweather throws. It would be a lead right if it came from McCluskey. But make no mistake, I believe, just in terms of boxing ability, right? Not power, not foot speed, just boxing ability up close. I believe that McCluskey, and I know this is heresy, I understand it, but I believe that McCluskey is better than Amir Khan up close. Khan strikes me as a fighter who cannot fight inside. When I look at Khan fights, what I see is him coming out and throwing volume and heavy punches in the first 3 rounds of a fight. Then after he builds a lead, he gets on his horse and he starts to gallop around the ring. Right? He shoots a jab, he comes in, he's an ambush fighter, like many Freddie Roach fighters. He comes in, he throws flurries because he has length, youth, hand speed. He's able to overwhelm less mobile opponents, and then he backs back out, right? I have to be blunt. While I agree that counterpunchers start slow and that Paul McCluskey is going to be at significant risk the first 3 rounds of this fight, I simply don't have a clue how any sports book could have McCluskey as a 10 to 1 or 12 to 1 underdog. He is very talented. In fact, I believe he's a ringer. I believe he is much better than advertised. He has a gift that, quite frankly, I don't think you can teach. Take a look at his fight, and I'm going to mention fights that are on YouTube. Take a look at his fight against Cesar Bazan. You're going to see that his upper body is on a swivel. Very elusive. I can't even call it head movement. It's literally upper body movement, right? And he's operating out of a Philly shell. It's literally on a swivel. He's very hard to hit. Take a look at the fight him against Giuseppe Lori. Same thing. You're going to notice a fighter coming forward on him, and McCluskey is so fluid that while he's avoiding punches, he's throwing uppercuts, right? Very fluid. If he fights the right kind of fight against Amir Khan, and I believe that's a fight where he's going to have to get low. He's going to have to get low like Pernell Whitaker got against Oscar De La Hoya, right? Where you literally use the guy's height against him by bending down and forcing the other guy to reach. If he's able to fight that fight, and I saw glimpses of it in some of his fights, then I believe he's going to give Amir Khan all he can handle. So this isn't a 10 to 1 or 12 to 1 fight. this is much closer. If forced to make a pick, and I mean if forced to make a pick, I would probably say, okay, well, Khan by decision. But the bet I'm going to recommend is a bit more nuanced than that because I really do believe that Paul McCluskey is a live underdog in this fight. When you look at him, the word that comes to mind is slick. He's fluid. He is a pure counterpuncher. Take a look at his first knockdown in the Brian Morrison fight. You're going to see that he's so smooth. He gets that knockdown with his lead right hand. His knockdowns are of the counterpuncher variety, where he hits the other guy not with power, but with surprise. Right? Guys are getting hit when they don't expect it, and they end up going down. His last four fights have ended by knockout. I know he's in his 30s. He's at the top of his game right now. And his boxing skills are the kind of skills, that elusiveness and his understanding of the sport, where he, even though he's in his 30s, is not going to be at a considerable age disadvantage. Right? I think he's the adult in this fight, not in terms of age, literally, in terms of his game. I think the flow of the fight is going to be Amir Khan takes the first 3 rounds, just like, by the way, Zab Judah against Floyd Mayweather took the first 3 rounds of their fight, right? Keep in mind, counterpunchers tend to start a little bit slow. Michael Casitas had success early against Juan Manuel Marquez. Same type dynamic. I believe Amir Khan's going to take the first 3 rounds if he's unable, because Khan hits hard when he wants to. He dropped Marcus Maidana. People recall early in that fight, Maidana had to get up off the canvas. If Khan doesn't stop McCloskey in the first 3 rounds, I think that we're going to have a new force revealed to the public. I believe McCloskey's then going to systematically outbox Amir Khan for much of the fight. The reason why I believe Khan wins by decision, quite frankly, is because he will have banked 3 rounds. And even if McCluskey comes back and wins, 5-4, the other 9 rounds, I believe Amir Khan, just off the strength of being able to, gallop away and come in with flurries, is going to be given the decision in this fight. So I think it's a live fight. I think Paul McCluskey is a very dangerous fighter. Quite frankly, if Khan is not on his game, if when you're watching this fight, Harold Letterman scores any of the first 3 rounds for Paul McCluskey, because those are the rounds when he's going to be vulnerable. Those are the rounds when he's going to have a hand speed disadvantage, right? If Paul McCluskey, also McCluskey drops his hands on defense, right? Just like, Sergio Martinez does, and he relies on just being able to lean his way out of your punching range, right? That's dangerous against a fighter like Khan, who moves fast and has great feet, right? So if, while McCluskey is figuring out the angles in the first 3 rounds, he wins any of those 3 rounds on Harold Letterman's scorecard on HBO, if you hear Letterman say, I give that round to McCluskey, then in my opinion, this fight is up for grabs. The play I'm recommending is, and this is a prop play because the odds are so skewed, you get 10-3 if Amir Khan can end this fight in the first 3 rounds. Then what I'd like for you to do is to take the over in the fight, which I've seen anywhere from 9.5 to 10.5. Take the over. That'll give you Amir Khan and Paul McCluskey by decision. You should get great odds on that too. Then, of course, the coup de grace is when the casino is giving you incredible leverage on a very talented fighter. You need to take advantage of that. I believe part of your bet portfolio, and I'm a straddler, right? If you're a long-time subscriber, you know part of your portfolio has to be Paul McCloskey at these ridiculous odds of 7, 8, and 9 to 1. I think Paul McCloskey is a very live dog in this one. I think the story on HBO, especially if McCloskey can get low, like Purnell against Oscar, and force Amir Khan, who has a problem bending at the waist, right, to actually reach to try to catch him, right? I believe that Paul McCluskey is going to surprise certainly the folks here in America. I think he's going to sign his name into this 140 sweepstakes. I think if he can do well in the early rounds, he has a chance to win this fight outright. More likely than not, I think it's Amir Khan by decision, but I personally would not be surprised if Paul McCluskey is able to bag some early rounds and then start to dominate the latter part of the fight. Let me point out, too, that the Andre Kotelnik fight, and that was a fight that I predicted Amir Khan would win. It's disturbing if you look at the 10th round of that Andre Kotelnik fight, you're going to see that it looks remarkably like the latter rounds of the Marcos Maidana fight. In other words, Amir Khan, who has a big punch, is literally galloping around the ring trying to stay away from these guys. Now, my point to you is Marcos Maidana, who I picked to beat Amir Khan. Amir Khan won that fight. I congratulate Amir Khan, but I believe that the public now understands why I picked Maidana in that fight. Maidana and Kotelnik are fighters who stand pretty upright. You know where they're going to be. You don't have to wonder exactly how you're going to hit them, right? You know Marcus Maidana is there to trade with you. Telnik has a European style. He has his guard up, but you know where he is in the ring. Paul McCluskey is a different personality type. This is more of a Floyd Mayweather type. Even when he is in front of you, you do not know whether you're going to be able to land a punch on his upper body. As I said, if you're looking at McCluskey tapes, just look at him from the waist up. It is Floyd Mayweather-ish. It is Sugar Ray Leonard-ish. And all I'm saying is whenever a fighter is knocking out opponents with the punches McCluskey throws, right, where his opponent can't even figure out that the punch is being thrown and looks surprised when they're hit, then McCluskey is doing a lot of things right in the ring. He's not telegraphing his punches. I think this is a very advanced fighter. I think this sports line is completely ridiculous. This is a close fight. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments for me here on YouTube. Leave your comments for me at gamblersadvisory.com. I know I've taken some heat in some boxing chat rooms. People say that I give underdogs too much credit. All I can say is it's my personal belief that some of these favorites are a bit overvalued, and Amir Khan is overvalued in this fight. Let me hear from you. Thanks for watching.